Hi, and welcome to the Toon Goons, a podcast in which we take an adult and critical look into the world of cartoons and animation, and analyze how they affect the pop culture landscape at large. I'm one of your hosts, Nikki.
I'm Nina.
And I'm Paprika, an alternate dream persona of myself that's more carefree and whimsical, so I guess I've been Paprika this whole time? I don't know. I got sweet low-top chucks, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like you're maybe the most carefree of us. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much shit I don't give a fuck about, you don't even know.
This week, we're our final week of Japanuary. Thanks for sticking with us. Gonna try to get this out while
Hopefully
it's still January. Shut up. Is the Satoshi Kon movie, Paprika, which was the last one he did, right?
Yeah.
Was he working on one when he died? Was there one released posthumously?
He was working on one while he died. It was called The Dream Machine. It never got finished. Obviously, he died in the middle of it, and then I believe the studio he was working with, I believe it was Madhouse.
This one was Madhouse, so...
Yeah, said that, like, no matter what happens, we're going to make sure this movie comes out, but I haven't really heard any buzz about, like, the process.
By the name alone, it sounds like a sequel to Paprika, or maybe a prequel.
Oh, there was at last year's Otakon, there was a panel, and someone they said that mainly the main thing holding them up is finding somebody comparable to Kon to direct it, which is so
Impossible.
Basically all the hangups are what you'd expect.
Yeah, like they have production stuff down, but they're just like, who has vision? Who knows how to make things good?
Who's God? I don't know. I feel like there's got to be some like-minded, super artsy, fun, insane people. Yeah,
there's got to be somebody who can do something. But anyway, yeah, this was his last piece of work. No, it was his last film. He did release a short film called Ohio. That was his very last piece of work that ever came out before his death. But yeah.
I'd like to watch it. And
sad.
This is our second Kon movie. In December 2014, we did the Tokyo Godfathers, which is a lot more digestible. It's a lot more straightforward. They're both very good, but extremely different movies.
Yeah, I mean, Tokyo Godfathers is almost an anomaly, almost, and that it is the most movie. Like, he's very much just like making a Hollywood movie. It's kind of tongue in cheek, where he's like, you know that I know that you know these conventions, but let's just play with them and have a good time, as opposed to his other films, which are much more overtly deconstructive.
Yeah, this is a movie about movies. It's the movie.
Yeah.
Movie cubed.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, because we're gonna have to get out the shovels, because man. But we got a couple of news stories and something I really want to talk about. Where do you want to start, Nina?
So let's start with Frustration Town, USA.
Speaking of replacing directors that you can't replace.
But could, assholes!
So Sony is still trying to make its Popeye film work. And they announced that TJ Fixman will be the new director. He'll draft the new screenplay.
He'll write this wrong. It's right there in his name.
Yeah.
2016.
He worked on Ratchet and Clank video games, and he penned the upcoming feature adaptation from Rainmaker Entertainment. So he wrote the games and he wrote the movie about the games.
And the movie looks fine.
Yeah,
the movie looks like it definitely won't be bad.
Yeah.
Glowing praise.
Yeah, so we don't know too much about what it's going to take shape. Apparently, the complaint that Sony had was that Tartakovsky's vision was not modern enough.
Okay,
for Sony.
That's very dumb for a bunch of reasons.
Popeye. Yeah. It's like one of the oldest cartoons.
Exactly. This is what Tartakovsky said.
What, do they want him to shove spinach in his vape?
It's still a mystery for me that Sony didn't like that version. They wanted to do Popeye for the brand recognition, and I loved the character and grew up with it, so there was a tug-of-war. They wanted it really updated. I can only update it a little before it isn't Popeye anymore. Yeah,
and
exactly.
like even then, it's like, you know, it's old timey, but even the whole mythos of Popeye isn't really like stuck in a certain time period. It's just that aesthetic, and then he just beats the shit out of everybody. That's all you need. So like, regardless of the time period, Popeye's not gonna change, except for now it's gonna look really out of place because it's clearly not Popeye.
Yeah, like what do they want updated? Like Smurfs updated?
Well, here's the thing.
Put it in the modern world.
Like what is he gonna like? Is he gonna be
reason?
Like sailing his ship by spinning the wheel really, really hard for 5 undisrupted seconds, and that somehow steers him on the right path, and then spinning it the other direction, so he's just kind of zigzagging back and forth, and then he'll go to, like, I don't know, what if he, like, goes to, like, the Bermuda Triangle, and then, like, shipwrecks on, like, modern-day Manhattan or something?
Oh, you know what?
Well, blow me down.
Actually, this makes sense.
This thing, yeah.
The writers who were working on the film, while Tartakovsky was supposed to direct it, were Jay Sherrick,
I would say.
Sherrick, and David Ron, who worked on The Smurfs and Norbit.
That better be their only two films, because, like, what could they have done that would have been worse than Norbit to put on this article? To, like, hey, they did Norbit, you guys!
Well, it's AV Club, so maybe they're trying to make a point.
That's true. Are these the guys that we were, like, applauding for being so scathing before or whatever?
Yeah, to that dickhead making the Castlevania film.
Apparently,
the first piece of animation for adults, which AV Club then said, which is patently untrue.
Oof.
Yeah,
it is the most untrue.
There's a third Smurfs in the works that they're doing. It's called Get Smurfy.
Alright.
Yeah, so I was right. They wanted it to be more like the Smurfs, and Tartakovsky wasn't.
Tartakovsky wanted to make something good, and like
he wanted it to be Popeye.
I bet that movie would have ended up, I guess, kind of like Hotel Transylvania, that the script sucked, but it was going to look great because of the director.
Yeah, now the script sucks, and it's not going to be as good.
Well, no, the script is now it's this TJ Fixman guy. He's writing the new version of the movie.
Oh, right.
He wrote Ratchet and Clank, so he's at least got, you know, those movies those games were clever enough. I only really played the first one, but like,
fun.
Yeah, he's got a sense of humor that isn't absolutely putrid. He's not the most nuanced humorist in the world, but like, what we're now looking at is going to be a better script.
Yeah,
I guarantee
why
that.
Sony, I guess I could, like, thinking of Ratchet and Clank's humor, I can see why Sony picked him for, like, a quote-unquote modern Popeye.
And apparently he's been doing a lot of stuff lately, like Hasbro Studios has made him a creative consultant for their future TV and film products. And apparently he's attached to a couple features in development, including Disney's Gargoyles.
What?
Huh.
What?
I didn't even know they were making that.
What?
That doesn't seem like a good fit, but okay.
I don't follow the creator of Gargoyles blog, because if I did, he would have ranted and raved about it, because he still hasn't gotten over the fact that they took that show away from him and haven't released it at all. Like, he makes, like, regular posts about his whole sitch. And then he directed not Teen Titans, Young Justice, too, so, you know. He's been burnt real bad. His blog is not fun.
It's a dark place.
But to kind of give you the idea of the kind of humor of Ratchet and Clank, they did all the names are dick jokes. All the names of the games, like the second one or third one was Up Your Arsenal. The first one for the PSP was Size Matters. Like,
yeah,
it's crass, but it's like well executed.
As a kid, I didn't notice,
Rhino.
And then I watched like a Did You Know Gaming episode in Ratchet and Clank, and not only did they explain that, but they also listed a whole bunch of names that didn't get past the censors. I can't remember them, but they were pretty good.
I mean, the best gun in the first game was called the Rhino, with RYNO, which is an acronym for Rip Ya a New One.
Ah.
And I remember asking Nikki, like, a new what?
And I think I told you a butthole.
Yeah, you did. And you told me what it meant.
I'm glad I did that. But it's not like Popeye is an especially highbrow comedy.
No, it's not at all. That was why people liked him, because he was down to earth and people thought that he was like them.
Yeah, Popeye's dumb as hell.
Yeah, he's just
Or
strong.
Or at the very least seems dumb as hell because he can't he seems incapable of human speech.
He's just this walking lump of a man, and he just keeps swinging. He's like this. If Rocky Balboa lost to Apollo Creed in the first Rocky, he'd just be a sailor, and then he'd be Popeye.
I mean,
he did lose to Apollo Creed in the first Rocky.
No, he won, and then they wanted a rematch, and then he won again.
He completely did not win in the first Rocky.
Win.
That's the whole point of the movie.
The whole point of the movie is that he didn't win, but he went way longer than anyone expected him to. He broke the record. Like, he lasted the longest against Apollo Creed.
I don't remember.
And that was the accomplishment.
That's how Creed ended, too. What the fuck? They just did it again, and that's how Rocky 6 ended. That's how all the good Rockies end. Holy shit.
Yeah. If Rocky wins at the end, it's probably not very good. I don't know. Did he win in 2?
Yeah.
I've only seen the first one.
I'm pretty sure he won in 2. It was years ago, because I watched him back to back, and I could have sworn that, like, Creed was super mad. He was like, I want to fight you again, and while they're both being hospitalized.
Yeah, he was mad, because he had never had an opponent like that before, who gave him such a hard time, and made his life so difficult. Normally he would, like, beat the guy up in a couple rounds. Rocky just kept going and going and going.
What's actually crazy
a real
about
long time.
Rocky kept forgetting to block. It was actually driving me nuts. He just, like, had his
I mean, he couldn't see at some
I mean,
point.
in the beginning, even before that, he had his fist down, like, blocking his chest, and Apollo kept, like, doing pot shots to his forehead, and he was not blocking his face. He was trying to do the Homer Simpson method.
I mean, that was why he lasted so long, is because he could take a hit.
He would have lasted longer if he blocked, is what I'm saying.
I know, but he's not that smart. He just knows how to punch and get punched.
I thought I was going to have to worry about us talking about Metal Gear too much.
We're done with this story.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah, Rocky.
Well, if he would have super lost a lot, then he would have
Adrian!
Yes.
Adrian! I can't fucking... He was screaming like that because he couldn't see. His face was coated in blood, and also his eyes were swollen shut.
Well, yeah, they had to cut his eyes open, like, multiple times so he could see.
It's like, okay. Man, Rocky, normally we only do this once. You're supposed to TKO after we bring out this a second time. No, I'm gonna get him. No, I got him on the ropes.
Anyway,
Rocky, you're facing the wrong way.
Speaking of landmark cinema, Akira is back in the news. Reportedly, Katsuhiro Otomo, the writer and director of Akira, the Akira dude, essentially, has reportedly revealed a potential development for his franchise, that there is a possibility of another adaptation for Akira, and that it will possibly be a TV adaptation that is being reviewed.
So basically, it's being looked over for the possibility that this could maybe happen.
I mean,
we wouldn't be.
It's not like it's a hard. It's both a hard and an easy pitch because of the. It's so beloved, and this dude like really loves what he does, and he gets his hands in everything, and he has a lot of connections in the industry. But at the same time, it's like, okay.
I mean, we wouldn't be talking about this if it was anything other than Akira.
That's
the thing.
Yeah, if this was like, I don't know,
Berserk.
Well,
they are making a TV anime of Berserk now.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have talked about it when it's like, oh yeah, maybe.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe they would. Maybe they
did.
I don't know. People really like Berserk, but I've actually got a lot to say about this. So I practice this before we do.
Okay,
right?
You go, girlfriend.
You know, every time a story comes up, like another ding dong in Hollywood is trying to make another movie adaptation of Akira, everybody's like, oh, fucking stop it. Why doesn't Hollywood realize that this is a bad idea? And I absolutely agree with that. It is a bad idea. But here's something a lot of people don't realize. It was a bad idea the first time they made it.
It was a really bad idea.
From a narrative perspective, that is.
And from a financial perspective, it was like, I don't know how they got the money.
Yeah, I don't know how either. But like,
I have no clue.
The thing about Akira, the film, is that narratively it's a complete mess because it's trying to adapt too much work into too little time. It was a 6-volume manga, and they're big volumes.
Yeah.
And the movie basically only covers volumes 1 and 6.
And the dude's art is so detailed that the manga is essentially a storyboard. Like, he does, like, establishing shots and shit.
It is.
Like, it's a straight storyboard.
I'm going to get to that. But, like, so, from a narrative perspective, Akira as a movie sucks. It doesn't work. And the thing is, I don't think anybody could get it to work within the confines of a regular Hollywood runtime, unless you're going to do, like, Ben-Hur, which, I mean, for animation, that's straight fucking out. But...
yeah, no way.
But the reason why it made the reason why it did make sense to make this movie the first time has to do with Otomo's style and his influences. He loves cinema, and you can absolutely see that in the way Akira was drawn. Like Nina said,
he wanted to make a movie.
Yeah, there's establishing shots.
He wanted to make a movie.
The way he, not only establishes shots, the way he composed shots, the way everything is composed is very cinematic, because that's what he always wanted to do. So when he did make a movie, he went all out and made one of the most gorgeously shot and directed animated films ever made.
And it has gross shit in it, and it's still pretty.
Yeah, the degree to the artistry that goes on into the way that every shot is composed is almost unmatched in the medium. It's phenomenal. It's why the movie is still so enduring, despite the fact that, again, the story is cool. You're interested in it. It just doesn't come together.
Yeah, you're invested, but it's like,
at the end, you're like, what was the thing? What happened? What was any of that shit?
Yeah.
So, I think it's really foolhardy to try to make it into another movie again, because nobody is going to try to make Akira the way that it was made the first time. Nobody's going to go through that kind of effort to make a movie that looks like that, especially not through traditional animation techniques.
Especially not in today's, Japan anime. Like, anime is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper the way that it's being produced, and, like, there's a lot of corners that are getting cut.
So say you couldn't come up with a better way to present the story and you just went for a shot-for-shot remake. That's dumb. But just for the sake of argument, you go shot-for-shot, there's no way it's going to look anywhere near as good. And even if you do try to adapt it another way, it's still going to be invariably compared to the gorgeousness of the first movie. So, what I'm getting at is that if we want to actually convey the story of Akira, which is very good, if we want to convey that story in animation, television is the only way to do it. It's in a sense, if they were thinking from a logic of just a narrative perspective, it's what they should have done from the beginning. It's the only thing that makes sense. Unless you do like a series of films, which can we be done with that? We won't be. But
I'm so tired of that.
Of planned trilogies. You could do Akira in a planned trilogy.
Oh, they could have done an OVA series.
Yeah, they could have done an OVA.
OVAs have bigger budgets.
Yeah, or maybe a shorter, maybe like a 10-episode show, or like an hour for each episode or something. Yeah. And it's not impossible. Like, great directors with high budgets have made television shows. Like, Satoshi Kon made a TV show, and it was up to his standards, and it let him tell a longer story and do more things because it was on TV.
Yeah, and Otomo's gonna have his hand in this if it happens. Again, we're talking about such a nothing article about him saying, yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
This article's literally 3 sentences long.
Yeah. And
in this 24-hour news circus we live in, a 3-sentence article is an article.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically 2 tweets. And, but it's such a good goddamn idea, because Akira is a phenomenal story. I haven't read the whole thing. I've read, I think, the first 4 volumes. I love it. It's so good, and it's pretty timeless. Yeah, because I
feel like it's still really relevant. Even though it was really grounded in the time that it was made, it still doesn't feel like what it's talking about isn't relevant. Like, yeah, the whole atomic demon nightmare, it hasn't gone away.
It's gone away since people got bored of being scared all the time, except Hideo Kojima.
But, there's other social, political things going on in that besides just, fear of nuclear warfare that are
And
very
I'd be
relevant.
interesting to see Otomo maybe kind of himself kind of updated a bit to like incorporate that stuff.
Especially now that Tokyo is going to have the Olympics again. So they're building that gigantic stadium that they don't have the money for.
Isn't it the same year that the manga took place in?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's the same fucking shit. Again.
Yep.
And, like, the government's just like, we're going to build this stupid stadium we can't
It's all
afford,
gonna be
and
fine.
nobody wants it, and all the citizens are like, why are we doing this? It's the same thing happening again in real life. Like, actually, this is a perfect time to do it if you're going to do it.
Otomo's like, we gotta fucking move! We've got 11 months!
Oh god, yeah, if they made, okay, it would be a show that takes place, like, if this was made, if this didn't get made until, like, I don't know, like, 2018, it's a show in the future that takes place 2 years ago. Like, what? How would they do that? He would be so conflicted. Like, I don't want to change what I did, but, like, we gotta bump that year up to 2116?
The Tokyo Olympics are 2020. They actually have plenty of time to make this the
plenty.
goddamn opening ceremonies. It's just a screening of an Akira remake, or failing that, just Akira, and the whole time Otomo is just standing in the middle of the stadium glaring at everybody with his arms crossed.
That's where Akira's remains were stored, underneath the fucking stadium. It was like a symbol about international capitalism and how it, like,
God.
fucking consumes everything, and it's like, it's happening. It's happening. If Tetsuo doesn't explode in the middle of the 2020 Olympics opening ceremony, I will be very disappointed. Oh, man. This is fun. I mean, even if it doesn't happen, it's a really fun thought experiment. Because it's Akira, right?
The manga takes place in 2019, so yeah, that's good enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, still, then they still only have, like, a few years to get this, because, like, they're only just now talking about it, and these kinds of things can take a while, especially if it's with, like, big property.
Yeah, see, actually, that's the thing, is that Neo Tokyo was set to host the 32nd Olympic Games, which are the 2020s. It's, were they trying to do this?
I don't know, but it's perfect. It's so perfect.
Is the fucking Japanese Olympic Committee a bunch of old school nerds?
If they were, they wouldn't do it.
Because they would get it.
Because they would get it and be like, no, we can't afford this nonsense. We can't afford to build another
But, like, okay, but watch them still wanna, like,
stadium
they'll still try to cash in, though, and, like, the torch is gonna be, like, driven up there on the fucking bike, and he'll, like, skid up to the
Yes!
That'd actually be pretty okay.
Oh my god. I mean, obviously, like, they're gonna put, like, Godzilla and shit in that opening ceremonies. I hope they do some Akira shit.
I mean, I don't know.
I'll be
Tokyo's
so
had the
bothered.
Olympics before.
I
don't know if
want-
they-
I think in 1964.
Okay, but by 2018, they'll have the Gundam walking. The Gundam needs to light the torch.
Okay.
With his beam saber.
Yeah, they are working on that giant Gundam. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
It's a real Gundam that works.
Yeah, they're gonna-
They're
yeah.
trying to make it work.
They're trying to decide on the best way to make it work. It's not actually, like, fully mobile. They just, like, okay, if we can get it to walk, like, a few paces, then we'll have succeeded. So let's try and figure out how, like, and so they asked a bunch of people to come up with various ideas. One dude came up with a cop-out idea to have it, like, grappling with Char's Red Zaku, so technically it was four-legged, and I'm like, get that shit out of my sight. Make it walk for real.
Oh,
just
boy.
make a Gundam.
Just Akira's real, everybody. History is repeating. That's just the facts. That is the facts. All right, so
That was a lot of fun.
that was
The most fun I've had with a news story in a long time.
I
It
know.
was 2 sentences.
Our next story is about some follow-up to whatever the heck Nickelodeon is trying to do with this whole nostalgia thing. Stories keep coming in and they keep saying different things about what it is. So now we have a new different thing that might be the actual thing.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, in the last news article, they mentioned that they were going to make some Avengers-type mashup dealio, and I think this is that.
Yeah, so what they're doing is a film, and it's going to include characters like, from Rocko's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and Doug.
Because those all go together
And-
seamlessly.
And they're expected to meet in what's described as a hybrid movie between live action and animation, a la Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
They're just still dumb.
I mean, if they're gonna have live action, they might as well just call up the original cast of all that. I know they're not doing anything except Keenan.
Except, yeah, he's doing the same thing.
He went right back to it.
No, and Kel's actually he's on another show made by Dan Schneider.
Huh. Good for him.
So, Jared Hess, who co-directed and wrote Napoleon Dynamite, has been tapped to helm this project. He's going to be co-writing it with his wife and creative partner Jerusha Hess. And it's going to be produced by Mary Parent, who produced the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the first one, the good one, Pacific Rim, and The Revenant. So, you know.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna call it right now. This insane clusterfuck of a movie. It's gonna end on this really weird, really dumb, insane note, and then it's gonna fade into a close up of a campfire, and then it's gonna pan up, and it's a bunch of kids, and they all go, "Billy, that was the stupidest fucking story I ever heard. You're out of the Midnight Society." And then the credits are "You Afraid of the Dark" roll.
And I was looking on the AV Club on their sidebar. It's currently the first or second most read article on the website right now, and their article is Nickelodeon is actually making that Avengers-style Nicktoons movie.
Dude, the AV Club is fucking fierce.
I mean, no one's been able to make Roger Rabbit work since Roger Rabbit, and not for lack of trying.
Yeah. They tried to just do Roger Rabbit again, and they didn't.
It's not easy.
I don't know, man.
Roger Rabbit had the advantage that they could just make up all the characters to give itself a cohesive world. And because they had
iconic characters like Bugs and Mickey and Donald and Betty and all these people in there.
But they only cameoed is the thing. They didn't have an integral part in the movie. They were just showed up to make the world feel more real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these guys...
Yeah, or even, you look at the Lego movie, everybody's original except for Batman. But he's just, one secondary character.
And he wasn't even really Batman.
Yeah, it's a Lego version.
Yeah,
he
and
was Will Arnett.
He added a lot to that... Yeah, he added a lot to that film. But, the thing is that here, they're locked into all these characters from very disparate universes.
Yeah, you can't make them
some
fit.
Some of them could maybe fit.
Yeah.
Doug's just gonna start crying.
Maybe Hey Arnold and
the biggest
Rugrats
conflict Doug had was that they wanted to put his dog down for biting someone. What's he gonna do to save the world, presumably?
I mean, maybe Rocco and Our Real Monsters, because it's those stuff, and Stimpy. I mean, all the drug ones could go together.
Yeah. Maybe. But but what would they be doing?
Yeah, what are they going to do? None of these characters...
What would they be avenging?
Yeah, none of these...
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the Avengers is that they're all crime punchers. None of these guys are that. None of them. I'm looking at them. None of them are fight crime.
Rocco's arch nemesis is a giant vacuum.
Nickelodeon has done mashups before. They did Rugrats Wild Thornberries. That worked.
They did the Jimmy Timmy movies.
They did the Jimmy Timmy movies, which again kind of worked because you had
they got progressively
interdimensional portals and shit, which made sense.
And it was also a it's a full-on comedy where everything was just dumb.
Yeah, they didn't even this doesn't even mention because Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron are post these guys, just after them. So it's all of the people that you could conceivably mash up together because boy demographic animated series just took a real action turn after the 90s, in the late 90s. Yeah. So these guys are all screwball comedies and or slice of lifes. They don't
the whole point
they don't go
is
together.
It's supposed to be 90s. That's so 90s. That's the new
That's the whole pitch. That's the elevator pitch. Is what if we made a movie that was the 90s?
Well, that was hashtag that's so 90s.
Like a documentary? What? No. It just has all the 90s shit in it.
I'm like,
It's like that one
maybe Hey Arnold
animated panel from that one Octopus Pie comic.
What did Doug even do?
He just complained a bunch.
Yeah, he was just
and pretended
really
to be
upset about non-problems, while all of his friends were like, "Doug, like this isn't a big deal." And then by the end of the movie, by the end of the episode, he would just write in his journal about how like, "Oh fuck, well, I guess just hormones." And his sister was
Just
cool.
like, Hey Arnold, they actually had problems.
They got haunted by a ghost on at least one
Or
occasion.
they
Twice!
got lost in the city, or kidnapped by the rat sewer king.
Yeah, they went to
And
like,
also,
they went to like an
like- and also
island and
stuff-
got chased by really bad
Right, they-
counterfeiters.
And also stuff that wasn't fantastical.
They
Like
got
all
lost on the
stuff about
subway.
bullying.
Yeah. No, they got trapped in the subway. Like, they were stuck down
Yeah.
there because the cables got
They got
fried
on that B
because
train.
Rats chewed them. Like, they had legitimate, like, okay, this is kind of a problem.
Also, like,
Where's Doug?
what are the Rugrats gonna do? Are the other characters gonna be able to understand them? Because otherwise, the Rugrats are just gonna. That might be neat. Like, regardless of what the A plot is, I hope the B plot is just the Rugrats having their own movie because no one else cares about them because they're babies, and then it's a much more interesting film. And then at the end, the plots converge and the Rugrats accidentally save the day. That's, you know what? Do that.
They put the deactivation code for the bomb is in the cookie jar, and only
Yeah.
they can get it.
Now that I think
They have
about it,
to
the
make a little
Rugrats have
pull
way
out all
more.
the drawers so they can climb up.
The Rugrats have way more tactical espionage experience than anyone else in this cast.
Yeah.
There are plenty of
Hey
episodes
Arnold
where
did in the movie, remember? Remember?
Yeah, like that's
Spy.
so weird.
So they can put shit in the trailer?
Out of all of these people, 4 or 5, however many babies, have been able to carry a more exciting film series than any of these other people. Like, what are you doing? Just make another Rugrats movie. Just do it.
I mean, where would they go?
Vegas.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no.
Wait, I
Rugrats
think they
4
already
meets
did
Hangover
that.
4.
I think there was a special
Why
where they
would
were on
you
their way to
bring-
Vegas.
Babies to Vegas.
I could have
They're not great parents, is kind of the undertones. They're doing their best, but they're not very good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
They
Rugrats
brought them
vacation.
to Paris.
They went
Why
to
would
Las
you do
Vegas.
that?
Well, that's because Chucky's mom had a.
They wasn't his mom yet.
Oh, well.
They met her in Paris. I don't remember why they went to Paris.
Oh.
Fuck. Was it for
I-
like
I-
one of Stu's
I guess-
inventions?
Maybe. All I can remember is that they were trying to figure out who let the dogs out, and I guess they were looking in Paris to figure out who that was.
Oh god,
Just
oh
babies
no!
running down.
How dare you make
Stupid
me remember
fucking
that
joke.
trailer?
Oh, I remember the trailer.
Was it the song in the movie? I never actually saw the movie.
Was Spike even in that movie?
He's on the poster.
Yeah, he...
Okay.
France never
I don't
had a
remember-
chance.
Because they were building the new Reptar amusement
Oh,
park
it was
in
Euro Reptar.
France.
It was like Euro Reptar Land.
Yeah, Euro Reptar.
Yeah, they
And
sent
I
Stu to
guess
fix a
Stu
malfunctioning
engineered some
Reptar
shit.
robot. And then Stu just decides to bring all of his friends, spending thousands of dollars in the process.
Wait, what did Stu do for a living?
He was a
He's
toy
an-
maker.
he was like an engineer.
Oh!
But I don't think
okay.
I think he was, like, freelance.
Yeah, he was an inventor. He just built shit in his basement
Yeah.
and patented it.
Yeah, see, the thing is that, like, he definitely didn't have a real job.
No.
Right.
That was Dee Dee. She was a substitute teacher. I think. Or just
Yeah.
a regular teacher? I forget.
I don't know. That's
Anywho.
news. We've spent a lot of time on a great news segment, but
Oh
that's
god,
everything
we
we
gotta
got.
start talking about this thing.
Oh, wait a minute. Was Abe Vigoda in anything?
Probably. He was in a bunch
Huh?
of stuff. Oh, Abe Vigoda died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let me see here. Filmography. Let me just go to the Internet Movie Database and control
Farce
for
of the-
voice.
Oh, Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh shit, who was he in that? Oh, they got him for all, they got him for all the bad Godfather games.
Salvatore Valestra, a powerful crime boss who goes into business with Carl Beaumont.
Yeah, that was his really.
So he wasn't a supervillain.
No, but still, man, he was a long time fucking successful famous actor,
Yeah.
and nobody said nothing. Because, I mean, he was a super old classical actor, so nobody on Tumblr cares.
Oh my god, he was in a movie called Farce of the Penguins.
Yeah, I think that was one of those scary movie type parody movies.
Yeah. Although the fucking poster, which I'm looking at, has the audacity to say, in the tradition of Airplane, Naked Gun, and Scary Movie.
Fuck them!
All the penguins are dressed in, like, BDSM gear, and it says what happens in Antarctica stays in Antarctica.
Oh, no.
France
I hope
France
those were
never
CGI
stood a
penguins.
chance. But yeah, I wasn't very familiar with Abe Vigoda. I only
Holy
knew
crap,
he was...
it made $6.8 thousand in the box office.
Oh my god.
That's gotta be some kind of record. That's like nothing.
It was written and directed by Bob Saget?
Whoa. Oh man, if we had a bad movie podcast.
I still wouldn't watch it.
I don't know, Louis Black is in it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Abe Vigoda, I only ever knew about him because he showed up on Conan O'Brien a lot, and the Beastie Boys lyric from Posse in Effect, "You know I got rhymes like Abe Vigoda." That's my Abe Vigoda knowledge.
Did he do a lot of rhymes?
I don't think so. Sometimes they
Did he date Leanne Rhymes?
I don't know.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay,